All right, cool. Talk to me.
Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna start out with. I mean, how long have you been running for?
I think I've been around running my whole life. Music journalist, and then I started running again about 10 years ago when my son was born.
Okay. And how about the Black Roses? When was that formed?
Black Roses started, kind of came out to the world in New York, running in New York and running with some of the crews for several years. And then my co-founder, Jesse Zappo, was a longtime bridge runner, was the captain of bridge runners, and ran with bridge runners since 2006.
Oh, okay.
So she's been leading group runs and doing crew stuff since about 2006 in New York.
But how does I mean, I follow you guys on Instagram, and I guess you do like most of the speed and track workouts, and she does the street.
Yeah.
How does it work? I mean,
Well, we get the benefit of training principles and training practices in our destination runs from Manhattan out to the beach. But we work on the track, so she brings that, and then if she's not there, I know how to stretch.
yeah. You guys are like seem to be more professional than most of the, crews around the world. Actually, I mean, I was so jealous of that Montauk project thing. I wish we had something like that in Turkey, but
is that bad? I don't want to. I hope it's intense. And if you have someone who has an awesome job or a terrible job, and they're coming out to run, and they're passionate about running, and they're coming out to run with you for 2 hours, of the lives people in New York live. If we came around and we didn't know what we were doing, or if we were leading people to get hurt, or if we were just sitting around smoking weed all the time and like talking, you definitely are like partying as organized as a break from that.
Yeah.
Instead of an excuse for that. Yeah.
I think people are getting bored of that partying culture too. They're looking for something new, and
yeah. That's it, right? Like, we've done it. Everybody's been at Fashion Week and gotten thrown through a glass window at a bar.
Exactly. Coaching the girls of Black Roses for the San Francisco Marathon. How did you train them for the hills?
To tell you the truth, I, as a runner, I would never run that race. That course is insane. That race is insane. I don't like to talk to the women about it, but whoa! I ran it last year with them, and it was like, this is crazy. I hope they don't notice these hills. So to tell you the truth, the credit really has to go to Jesse Zappo for really preparing the women for that race. Mm-hmm. And again, also to Nike for having some online tools to talk about the hills. Yeah. Be psychologically ready for hills, and you want to have the speed and strength not just to run up the hills, but to recover and to continue on with your race. So I definitely train on hills. I definitely, live up in a very hilly area of New York State, and I definitely do hill workouts. But for San Francisco, we really built a combination of speed and strength this year for women to prepare for that race.
I want to have that kind of.
I think it takes time. It takes a year or two. I think it takes. Group training is great.
I don't know. I can't focus. I mean, I can't focus. I only focus on the bad thoughts. That I'm not going to be able to finish it or not going to be able to. And I hear a lot of people say this to me. That's why I guess.
Well, it's weird in running, especially now with Instagram and Facebook, and there's so many running experts. Now there's a million things to focus on, right? Core and diet and my body and my booty and like I'm a cyclist too, and like all these kind of things. But sometimes in running, this is my son really.
Hi.
It's like.
Hi.
He's a running expert too. He's a soccer fan. Galatasaray fan, but he definitely knows a lot about running. From the very beginning in Black Roses, we've said the idea is to run stronger, faster for longer. And you want to bring all those three things together on race day.
Yeah.
But you can't do all those things every day in every training session.
Yeah.
So in some training sessions, you have to train longer. Those are long runs. Some training sessions, you have to train harder. And those may be like tempo or interval or threshold runs. And some runs you have to learn how to run faster. And that might be some more specific track work. So the idea for all of us to bring together is to train to run faster, stronger for longer. And so too, the idea in all your workouts is like, psychologically speaking, you got to go out and just try to do one thing, one or two things, rather than like work on your form and your speed and look at the time and run some hills. And you got to go out and you want to run some hills and concentrate on relaxing and thinking about one thing. I just say this happened to me 3 days ago when I went out on a long run, and I was like, let me just concentrate on staying relaxed, taking the hills easy, and getting to the end of the run and noticing how I feel, learning how to run on feel. And that's what we're doing. We're learning how to run on feel.
Yeah. Also, do you do any other workouts? I mean, what kind of sport? Do you do strength training or like yoga or I don't know?
Yeah, we definitely do. Everyone in the crew does yoga. We do core work after our workout, so people are doing core 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times a week. Mm-hmm. Most of the people in the crew are pretty avid cyclists, so everybody's always on bikes. Yeah. And again, Black Roses, we like to think we're special. We
have the Istanbul Marathon in 3 weeks. Do you want to add anything else to add or?
Well, I was just going to give an example of a couple different kinds of different hill workouts.
Okay.
One is an example. There's an old idea from the 70s called fartlek, which means speed training, speed play. And that's, when you go out for a run and you run at different speeds over the course of the run. So you might want to run, okay, for the next 2 telephone poles, we're going to run fast. And then you go back to a regular pace. Or, let's run for this many city blocks. Fartlek is a good run, and we were really sharing this idea at Montauk Project because it's an idea where when you're busy, when you have an urban lifestyle, you're training for a marathon, but on a Tuesday night you only have an hour to run. Warm up, cool down, track session, getting the track clear. It's tough to get that done, but you can, with a fartlek, you can go out for an hour and still get a strong workout. So you might go out and warm up for 10 minutes, and you cool down for 10 minutes. That leaves you 40 minutes in the middle to do a kind of elevated run. Fartlek is also great to work with a stopwatch. So there's different ways to do it. You can do 1 minute fast running, then bring it down to a regular pace. 1 minute up, 1 minute down. 1 minute up, 1 minute down. You might want to do that in the beginning for 20 minutes, and then build to 25 minutes, 30 minutes, up to 40 minutes. Another way to do it is 1 minute up, 2 minutes down. 2 minutes up, 1 minute down. 3 minutes up, 1 minute down. You can play with it like that. Or you can do 3 minutes up. There's just different ways to build it over the course of a 6-week cycle. You don't want to do it every Thursday because then you're going to get bored. But the fartlek is interesting because, and this is why working out on hills is good. You could pick a circuit, or you could pick a hilly loop, and sometimes when it's time to run up, the clock hits, okay, run hard for 2 minutes. Sometimes you're running hard up a hill. Sometimes you're running hard down a hill. You're learning how to run uphill hard. You're learning how to run downhill hard. Sometimes you've run hard down a downhill, and then it's time to recover. Hold on one second. When it's time to recover on the easy part, sometimes you're jogging, but you're running up a hill, so you're still getting additional workout. So again, doing a fartlek loop in a hilly course and running 1 minute up, 1 minute down in terms of pace and tempo, that's a good way. The other thing is to pick a really long hill. And that you might want to run hard 2 minutes up the hill, jog 1 minute down. Run hard up another 2, jog 1 minute down. And so you're making your way up the hill little by little, but you're still getting the recovery. Instead of running all the way down and getting the recovery, you're still getting it in blocks. You know what I mean? So it's a kind of a way to do a specific kind of workout. 2 minutes hard, 1 minute jog downhill, then another 2 minutes hard uphill. So those are just 2 kind of hill workouts and a way to set them up to be proper workouts.
That's good. How long is your average workout? Like when you go out with the Black Roses, do you do like an hour or like longer than that?
Our session, yeah, you want to block out 2.5 hours. That's not 2.5 hours of running. But you want to come, you want to stretch, and so when it comes time to do the workout, you want to really want to be able to focus on that central piece of the workout. So we block out 2.5 hours before we hit the bar.